Mud's women. To be honest, while it certainly isn't terrible, in fact it's actually surprisingly enjoyable, mostly on the back of Kamel's wonderful turn as Harry Mudd, this episode as a whole hasn't aged all that well. Back when it came out, Mud's Women tried to be a tale discussing the concerns of the sex trade and trafficking of women, an issue that is still all too prevalent today. But honestly, it gets really muddled, pardon the pun, in all of that. Perhaps mostly because the show doesn't really directly deal with the issue in a more bespoke way, which is a style it often makes for TREKS' best episodes. Yet, Sacred TREKS is not a series about the discussion of the political ramifications of Trek, that's for my other videos, but more about the lessons that we can take away from the show on a more personal, micro scale. And I believe that looking at this episode, Mud's Women, through the theme of confidence, can give us some surprising discoveries on how best to believe in ourselves, while also tempering that belief with honest introspection and critique. So let's dive into Mud's Women because this is Sacred TREKS.
Space, the final frontier.
We must strive to be more than we are, Law. It does not matter that we will never reach our ultimate goal. The effort yields its own rewards.
It's a matter of interpretation. It may not be what you believe, but that doesn't make it wrong.
There are 3 things to remember about being a starship captain. Keep your shirt tucked in, go down with the ship, and never abandon a member of your crew.
The most profound discoveries are not necessarily beyond that next star. They're within us.
Your father was captain of a starship for 12 minutes. He saved 800 lives. I dare you to do better.
You're a Starfleet captain. You believe in service, sacrifice, compassion, and love.
The needs of the many outweigh
The needs of the few.
or the one.
Synopsis time, and oh boy is this one a doozy. The Enterprise is chasing an unregistered ship for reasons. The strained chase leaves the ship without any dilithium crystals and some ominous power outages. Also, it was really strange seeing Uhura in a yellow uniform here. It's almost as if canon has always been changing. Or maybe this is when Ephraim ruined all the laundry on the Enterprise, so Uhura had to wear yellow. See, I made Ephraim and Dot work canonically for all of you. You are welcome. Right before the ship that the Enterprise was chasing explodes, the crew of the Enterprise beams out what appears to be a cowboy in space. Really leaning into that wagon train to the stars stuff here. Also, look at his mustache. It's so elegant. The crew also beams up 3 beautiful women, which, cause this is 1960s television, means we have to awkwardly stare at them for 3 full minutes. Guys, we gonna move on? Nope, just gonna stare awkwardly? Okay, I'll wait. Also, McCoy literally looks here like he's gonna, well, I guess I shouldn't get too dirty here. Oh, and we gotta have some butt shots. God, I love Star Trek. At least Spock just seems generally amused by the whole ordeal. I mean, quite literally, this whole episode Spock just looks like he's bemused by the men lusting after the women.
They are incredibly beautiful.
It's so wonderful. And some people wonder why some of us read Spock as gay. Dude shows more attraction to Kirk and rocks than anyone else.
Even burned and cracked, they're beautiful. Destroying them was a shame.
The mustachioed man reveals that his name is Leo Walsh and reveals that the women are his cargo, bringing them from a rough life to be married to richer men. Kirk decides to put Walsh on trial because it's quite obvious Walsh is a liar. Like he is horrid at hiding it.
Leo Walsh is my name, Dad. Don't forget that.
Kirk even calls him a jackass.
That's one jackass we're going to see skinned.
So swearing in Star Trek has existed literally from the beginning. In the trial, in which Spock does not take any shits,
State your correct name for the record.
it's revealed that Walsh is actually Harvey Mudd, a known con man. You know, that guy that tried to murder Captain Lorca a billion times. Talk about tonal inconsistency. Anyways, Kirk wants to bring Mudd up on charges, but literally all of the men are entranced by the women. Which even the computer is like, cool it, bros.
Unusual reading on male board members. Detecting high respiration patterns. Perspiration rates up. Heartbeat rapid.
But right at that moment, the Enterprise's power goes out, and the ship needs to go to Rigel to pick up some more lithium crystals. Not dilithium. Again, canon changes. Which Mudd sees as the perfect opportunity to sell the women to the even richer dilithium miners and free himself. One woman tries to hit on Kirk, who actually resists for once in his life. Another woman goes to see McCoy, who really wants to get some, but when she steps in front of one of the medical scanners, it goes all beepy like every high-tech futuristic machine does. So McCoy knows that something is up.
An alien smart enough to pull this would be smart enough to keep my medical scanner from going bleep.
Yes, the bleepy machine. As the ship arrives at Rigel, we find out that, oh dear God, what happened? Apparently the women must use a drug to stay beautiful, because apparently the evolved Federation still has stereotypical beauty standards. The miners then demand that they be paid with the women and release Harry Mudd in exchange for the crystals, which Kirk initially refuses, placing him without a working ship. The miners start to fight over the women when Eve, the one who initially hit on Kirk, begins to regret taking the drug and becomes standoffish. Because how dare a woman not want to be ogled? Eve runs off into the harsh surface of Rigel, and Kirk begins a search for her with the Enterprise's power running out. A miner finds her and saves her, so she cooks him breakfast. Which the miner's like, how dare you cook for me?
I guess I'm supposed to sit, taste it, roll my eyes. Ooh, female cooking again.
Like what? He's upset at female cooking? Well, I just can't. Sometimes with the show, I just can't. Well, the miner starts getting pissed when the woman loses her beauty, and Kirk learns about the beauty drug. The woman takes the drug to prove the point that she's only beautiful with it, but Kirk reveals that the drug that he had wasn't real, and that she is beautiful just without it. And so the miners apparently take the women and give Kirk the crystals, and the Enterprise is saved. So I'm gonna be honest, like I said at the start, this episode's message is really muddled even by the standards of the time it was made. The ending statement is basically arguing that you don't just have to have a wife who is really beautiful or who knows how to cook and clean, you can have both. Oh wow, women can be useful and sexy, what a thought! But seriously, in either case, women throughout the episode are only framed in their usefulness to men, either aesthetically or doing what amounts to housework for the miners. And the episode never really says anything substantial about what is essentially women trafficking, other than that it happens. And apparently Kirk is cool with it at least enough to begrudgingly agree to it in the end, but we don't really address that, we just kind of gloss over it. But as I said, let's pull out of this episode some of the lessons that can be learned through the theme of confidence. Confidence is defined as a feeling of self-assurance arising from one's appreciation of one's own abilities or qualities. The women in this episode lack any confidence in their own desirability and beauty, and fall back on a drug in order to earn that confidence that they so desire in themselves. They don't believe in themselves, but only have belief in the power of something else to give them it. This isn't confidence, as confidence, like I said, is about finding assurance in your own abilities. Now, I should be clear here that I don't look down on plastic surgery, especially as a trans woman who is getting plastic surgery quite literally this month to help boost my own confidence in my body. Nor do I believe in the stigma around drugs like antidepressants to help those dealing with mental issues. Yet there is a difference between using those things as tools to help you find your own sense of self-worth and externalizing that self-worth within something else. These women have zero sense of self-worth outside of the drug.
Going back to what I was. Ugly.
I can't stand myself ugly.
They find themselves to be useless, meaningless without it. That's what makes Eve's revelation at the end of the episode so powerful, and still mostly work today, even despite how it's still very much couched in 1960s stereotypes of women. Because by finding her own beauty without the drug, she finds a sense of self-worth within herself. And we even see that she is more than just her beauty. She is steadfastly intelligent, even if it, again, is framed as women's work. Confidence must always come from within yourself, not from somewhere else. Yet we get an interesting reversal of this idea in Harvey Fenton Mudd. You see, Mudd is a con man, which is short for confidence man. Con men like Mudd have a deep sense of self-worth, to the point where they believe that they are the most important person in the galaxy. It's why Mudd says his name over and over and over again, because he just likes the sound of it. Overconfidence is often found in those least deserving of having it, as we can clearly see today within certain, let's just say, politicians and leaders who also like to have their name everywhere. Overconfidence causes you to misjudge your own abilities.
I have a master's ticket.
Incorrect. Master's license revoked. Star date 11/16.4.
Yet more importantly, it causes you to place your own needs and worth over someone else's. Harvey Mudd is literally a human trafficker, no matter how kind he may seem on the surface. He places his own desire for profit over the well-being of the women in his charge. He even almost gets them killed, leading his ship into an asteroid field where it explodes, and only saving himself first before the women get beamed out onto the Enterprise at the very last minute. He doesn't even seem all that concerned when it's quite possible they may die. He also schemes to save his own hide over the needs of the Enterprise getting the crystals it needs for power. Without the crystals, everyone on the Enterprise will die. Yet Mudd couldn't care less. Overconfidence, an overdeveloped sense of self-worth, is the first step to a lack of empathy and to dehumanize and disregard the lives of others. You believe you are the best and inherently see others as less than you. And it's very easy to go from less than to worthless. As I alluded to before, while this certainly is an issue that can happen on the small scale, it does have large-scale consequences when played out in a larger system. So as is the typical denouement of my videos, there is a balance to be found. Everyone should work to find their own sense of self-worth, to find something within themselves that they believe makes them worthwhile. Yet you must also temper that with a sense of knowing that we are all fallible, that we can make mistakes. Yeah, even that knowledge, to know that we are not perfect, can actually bring with it a different type of confidence. A confidence born out of accepting who we are, fully and completely, flaws and all, and learn that all of us are inherently beautiful.
There's only one kind of woman.
Or man, for that matter.
You either believe in yourself, or you don't.
That's it for this episode of Sacred Treks. Where do you find the theme of confidence in this episode or elsewhere in Trek? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more Sacred Treks or other discussions about geek topics and Star Trek. And if you want to help make that cool stuff even better, please give to my Patreon page. Every little bit helps, even $1 a month. And it really helps me pay the bills and get to do more cool fun stuff on this channel. And gets you your own cool perks. So check it out. But as always, regardless of if you subscribe or give to my Patreon, remember to always live long and prosper. And special thanks to my commander level and above Patreons, Stefan Schuhart, BBD, Boyd and Marybeth Earl, Michael McGee, Lal Lindley, Wellington Marcus, Munir Amlani, Mari Neckar, and Marika Kriechin.